his career by taking classes at Central Piedmont Community College. Well, you probably know by now that the college, which also holds the broadcast license to PBS Charlotte, has a brand new president, and I am thrilled to have Dr. Kandi Deitemeyer joining us here in the studio right now. Dr. Deitemeyer, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm here today just to talk with you and get to know WTVI a little better.
Well, we like to say welcome home, because transitions are always a little bit difficult, but we want people to understand you have been in the community college system for a long time. You even launched your education after high school in a community college. So tell us a little bit about your history.
Well, I am a graduate of a North Carolina high school. My parents are from the High Point area, and they've gone back and forth between North Carolina and Florida. I was actually born in Florida. And so after high school graduation in North Carolina, 2 days later, we moved back to Florida. And when I went back to Florida, I went to a community college there for 2 years, finished my degree before going on to the University of South Florida. It was a great part of my life.
And you've ended up spending over 2 decades in the community college system as an educator, correct?
I have. It's been about 24 years now. And it's been fascinating because I've spent time in 3 systems, Florida, North Carolina, and 2 years in the Kentucky system working in community college. And knowing those systems differently and bringing that experience now to the presidency, now at the second institution as president, has been really great and helpful.
And you came to us most recently from College of the Albemarle, back in Elizabeth City, over hanging out in the Outer Banks. You liked working on your tan in the summertime at the beaches?
There was no time to work on my tan. But we did have an opportunity to visit at the Outer Banks and the beach a number of times while we lived there for almost 7 years, and that's always nice. But this is hard work, and I consider it really a calling and a great mission field, so to speak. So I'm a workaholic, unfortunately. So.
Well, we can relate with that, because if you're called to do something, that passion kind of drives you and you can't stop. So I can understand that. But you do stop sometimes, so I have to show a picture of your beautiful family and give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about the loves of your life.
Well, the first love, of course, is my faith, but I have a wonderful little family. I've been married, it'll be 27 years in May, to the most amazing person I've ever met. He is really my rock in terms of, he keeps me grounded. And then just 8.5 years ago, we were blessed to have a little girl. And
Zoe, right?
Zoe. And so she's in 3rd grade and has now transitioned with us, obviously. But they're amazing, and that's really kind of where I get my joy from those 3 things. And so I'm very grateful.
You know, we were able to catch up with you on the first day of classes at CPCC and watch you greeting the students, and to see you light up around those students. And I recently heard you say that you were really in the transformation business. Help us understand that.
Well, I really, I grew up the 5th of 5 children. I never thought that I would go on to be a college president. Never thought I'd be grateful or gifted to do this and equipped. Really called to do it, and so I have really spent my life trying to be a very transformed person, and I think what we do is transformational. We take folks from situations that are good, they're coming back, maybe they've lost a job and need retraining, or they're coming right out of high school, but we also have individuals who come to us who really, from a generational standpoint, really need upward mobility, economic mobility, and so we are in the life transformation business, and I really call this very privileged work. It's exciting. I get up every day excited about what we do for students and know that I can have an impact on people's lives. And at CPCC, I now get to do that in maybe a much greater way, given that we serve so many more students than I've ever had the privilege of doing. So I did light up. The highlight is to get out and see those students, because that's mission essence for us as an institution, for what we do for our community, but in each one of those individual lives, and each one of those students matters. And they all have a story. I had a story. Mine is 5th of 5 kids, worked full-time, mostly while I was going to school, on financial aid. And that's the story of many of our students. So I'm so excited for them, and I want to see all of them finish and be successful.
So from a faculty and staff standpoint, everyone wants to know, what's her leadership style? So that's their question. Help us get to know, what is your leadership style?
Well, I think it's been situational, as I've grown into different leadership roles. So I do think it's situational. I like to be very approachable, very authentic. If I'm asked what I think about something, or I engage in a conversation with a faculty or staff member, I'm going to do a lot of listening, and if they ask me what I think, I'm going to share that. So I think very approachable. I do have a lot of vision. Sometimes there's a capacity to that. We talked about that. Sometimes I see where we need to go for students and for our community, but we need to make sure we have the capacity to do that, not only as an institution, but individually and as a core group of faculty and staff trying to deliver on that. So yeah, it's really great work. I'm so grateful.
Before we run out of time, I also heard you say you love to celebrate. And as someone who's very driven and very goal-oriented, help us understand that a lot of people with that style of personality aren't really into the celebration factor.
Well, you asked me about getting my tan, and I said I was a workaholic, and I didn't probably go to the beach as often as I should have, while I had the great opportunity of doing that. I learned to celebrate through my husband. Birthdays are a big thing for him, but when you're the fifth of 5 kids and maybe of modest means, you know, birthdays were okay, and Christmases were great. Everybody had something, but he really taught me. I just thought birthdays were like another day, and so birthdays were one of the things that he really helped me learn to celebrate. And then when my daughter went through a life-threatening illness, it makes you really step back and go, you need to be grateful for every day. Life is very short, it's very purposed, and I am a very purposed and intentional person, always have been, but probably more so in the last 10 years. And so celebration is really important. Because today is a gift, and people are gifts. And so I get this amazing job where I interact with tremendous people, and I'm in the transformation business, and I'm so passionate about what we do. And so we should celebrate that. So I try to do that a little bit more often than I used to.
Well, you know what? Let me be one of many people to say that I predict that you are a very great gift to this community, and you're going to do great things with your team, and we're excited just to be a part of that. So welcome home, and we look forward to doing great things together. We appreciate your time so much.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Remember when you